Hello again, everybody. It's Harry Boxer, the Technical Trader. It's Tuesday, January 18th, and the market just keeps rolling along. Many of the stocks that we follow are doing very well. Let's go over some old ones and some new ones. Today, APRI, Apricus, which I put out as a swing trade not too long ago. I believe when it popped here, then it pulled back. Now it looks like it's come across the this wedge pattern, and today popped 25 cents. At one point, it was up over 50 cents, but we're at this point with 2 million shares traded today, the heaviest volume in about 3.5 weeks, and it's surging here. It looks like we could maybe get a move that extends up towards the 6.25 range, my trading target for APRI. ARIA had a spectacular session, gapping from 660 up to 666 on the opening, running to 732 before backing off to 703. Still up a spectacular 34%, up $1.78 on 18 million shares. That's by far the largest volume I've seen in this stock since mid-09 when it had this big pop here. I'm looking for an extension on this perhaps tomorrow, but eventually I tested the 8.25 area there about could provide some resistance, but that's the initial short-term target for APRI. ARIA, excuse me. FTK Flowtech, another up day, up 43 cents or 7.35%, 2.8 million traded. Stock moved out of a little mini flag and reached the top of the channel, up around the 6.5 area, and then backed off. It still closed up 43 cents, as I said. It looks like we may see some more upside, but we're at the top of the short-term channel here. If we get a little bit of thrust, we can see the stock spike up towards the $8 range, my short-term target. BIO is spiking. Big volume the last 3 sessions, taking it from about 3.5 up to 6. A spectacular move on heavy volume today, 653,000, up 87 cents or 17.7%. You can see that's the highest level the stock has reached since it came public back in February of last year, when it was trading in the under 50 cents. So it's more than a tenfold increase since then. But momentum is strong now. Could see some upside extension. Maybe get this up towards the 7.5, 8 range. IDT settling in here in a little bit of a mini pennant or coil. Volume and technicals look great. I think the stock's about to explode. Take a run at the 12 area, which is the highs, and then break through it. My intermediate to long-term targets are 35 and then 40. Those are the targets, maybe even as high as 45. We'll see what happens with IDT, but loving the look of that stock right now. IPCI, after the big thrust last week, had a quiet day today, up only 4 cents on a mere 83,000. But that I consider that a good sign as the stock refused to pull back, and even though it's near a resistance zone here, a move towards the 6 and maybe even as high as 7 may take place short term. LDK, a member of the explosive-looking solar energy group today, you can see that LDK had a big gap a week ago, ran up a bit and pulled back very gently on lower volume, and today popped for $1.28 or 10.6% on a spectacular 13.7 million shares. And at this point, a move to retest the highs up around 15 is probably doable, but I'm setting my target at 19, the top of the channel. MGIC Magic Investment yesterday broke out, today followed through a bit and then backed off. Still up 30 cents and closed over 8 at 814. Volume was strong and technicals were moving, so I believe that a takeout across the 8.5 zone could lead to a quick run up towards 10, 10.5, my short-term target for Magic. NXPI, new one we're watching, is doing very well. After the IPO here, the stock moved sideways for a few weeks, broke out early December. In mid-December, formed a beautiful bull pennant or falling wedge, and then has been running since, moving from 18 to 24.5. Looking for higher levels on the stock. Trading targets at 28.5 and 32.5. PSTI has been explosive of late, having moved from about $1.40 up to $3.35, almost tripling in the last couple of weeks. Stock is extended, no question, but heavy volume today. It shows that momentum is strong enough. The stock gapped up at around 20%. I'd be careful about chasing this one, but certainly looks like it could make it to 4+ short term. REDF is a runner, and how it's moved from about 5 to 990, almost doubling in the last 7 or 8 trading days. Today was big volume, 4.4 million, and we're up into a resistance zone. Now, if it pulls back here, it wouldn't surprise us, but if momentum carries it above the $10 range, I think we could see a spike up towards 12.5, 13 on REDF. But be careful in this zone as it's a little bit overbought and it's at resistance. SATC popped today, running 36 cents or 7% of 3.5 million. Heaviest volume in about two weeks, and at this point, maybe headed for a test at a 6.15 range short term, 6.75.7 in immediate term. SIFI running with REDF, broke out, pulled back for a couple of days, and the last 3 days has gone from 240 up to 349. Taking out the September high and maybe setting up for more upside towards the $4 range short term. Another member of the solar group and one of my favorites, GT Solar, SOLR, had a funny day today with all these solar energy stocks moving up in the morning. That one was pulled off, but it reversed sharply from 1140 to 1108 and closed off only a nickel off the high up 33 cents at 4.4 million. Looks like a run, an extension on this to my trading target around 12 may be doable, should be doable, and beyond that, 15 secondary target. Those are my swing trade targets for this current trade. And then there's current swing trade that's acting great. Has moved from the 40 area up to 52.70 today. And jumping 287 is TZOO, and the top of the channel now measures around 59.60. That's our trading target going forward, although there's a minor target of 55. UCTT, explosive move recently on heavy volume, has taken it from about 8 3/4 up to 12 3/4 in the last 5 or 6 sessions, but it looks like momentum is strong enough to maybe move this up towards the 15-16 range. My trading target for UCTT. URZ had a good day today, up 41 cents or almost 10%. 2.6 million shares, technical surging. Looks like it's breaking out above the 4.5 range, and short-term target around 6. Lastly today is USAT, low-price stock that had a spectacular move in going from 46 cents to quadrupling in about a month, that settled into a coil for about 2 months. Popped in early January from the wedge. Today exploded for 33 cents, 25%. 2.2 million shares, one of the heaviest volumes in the last couple of months, the last 3-4 months. Up against a key resistance zone. If you can possibly get through the $1.75 area, you could see this stock close to the 2.5, maybe even as high as 3, 3.25 for USAT. Keep an eye on that one. That's it for tonight. Good evening.